Yo, coming in from this side today, mixing it up. I'd like to talk today about something that interests me greatly, and it's stories. It's the art of telling a story, and it's what we learn from stories. I think in our recent history as people, and when I say recent history, I do mean like 300 years or so, we focused on facts, and we focus on learning facts and science, and we educate through science and through facts and through actualities, things that really happened. And we deem things that haven't happened, we shun them. But yet we tell these stories to our kids, and we do so to teach them something. To say don't cry over spilt milk, and to say, you know, the boy who cried wolf. I mean, I'm sure there was at some point someone who did cry over spilt milk, and I'm sure there was a boy who cried wolf, but this doesn't matter. We don't look at the story and make sure everyone tells it the same. It's the ethic the story teaches. And I think in our recent history, we've been so focused and concentrating on these facts that we dismiss everything else. And I think it's a massive shame. That my favourite philosopher is a guy called Montaigne. He's a French guy. And forgive me, I'm not sure about his birth and death date. I think it's kind of ironic within the ethic of what I'm trying to say that I don't care. But he was shunned within his lifetime. He wasn't deemed to have anything worthy to say within the philosophical world because he got so many things wrong. He'd misquote Nietzsche, and his idea of what Socrates had to say was nonsense. And he got what was going on. He understood what they were trying to say and moved that forward upon his writings. But yet, because it was misquoted, his translations were all funny, he was just going, well, whatever, Montaigne, you're rubbish, you're talking shit, so we're just going to ignore you. And we only when he was 5 years from his deathbed did anyone pick up any of his work and think it was valuable in any way. And now you look back and think the guy was a revolutionary, but during the time, because he got some things wrong, he wasn't respected. And you see it today with a lot of the people who go, oh, well, the Bible, you know, I'm not going to get really into Christianity, but the Bible is a story. It's one big, long story. And people go, oh, well, there's no way he could have made so many fishes and so many bread. The guy, it's nonsense, they're talking bollocks. But it's not what it's about. It's about what you're trying to say with the story. It's about helping as many people as you can with as little as possible. Now, this is a valuable lesson. This is something that you should be able to teach. And you shouldn't be able to teach with this looming shadow of as soon as someone tries to make me prove it, I'm going to be fucked. I'm sorry that the world's got to a point that we need something to be true. We need something to be so factual, it's watertight, in order to gain any benefit from the point that's made. And I'd like to know what point in our history that it changed from us being able to teach stories, or us being able to teach this phantom existence and actually gain value from it, respectable value from it, to having to teach facts. We don't need to know facts in order to get a point. But you don't go to a lesson in university on someone who tells you stories, and let alone stories that are just made up, stories that are just put across to give you an ideal. I mean, even in the philosophical world, we try and departmentalize and treat it like a science and work out the individuals. But if you just give examples, you make up a man and make up the fact that that man's done something, and then you say, now what does that mean? Now, we've all learnt the same thing. The man doesn't exist, the scenario doesn't exist, but what we've gained from it does exist. This is something that we take with us. I would even go to far as say it might be more valuable, because the way you've related that to your life without being hung up on the facts it's golden. It's something that you can then relate the story without learning the story, without having to study the story, relate the story to someone else. Now, someone else can hear it, it can be related to them. These stories can pass down from generation to generation to generation. They can be written, they can be changed. But the ethics, they're the important part, and they stay the same. And I think it's sad, and I think we've got to the point that we're missing out on the value of a storyteller and the value that a story can bring. And I don't know how we can change it. I wouldn't say we should go back to ignoring all these facts. We do need these facts, but I just think it's a bit of a shame.